Hi ladies, I just wanted to do a little video on our self-tanning products today. I'm just gonna go through what to do, how to apply it, how to prep your body actually for the product too. So there's two different self-tanners that Younique has. There is the spray, and then we have the lotion. The spray typically is mostly used on the face. I personally prefer using it on my upper body, just for making sure that I don't get streaks, and then I prefer the lotion on my legs, but lots of women are using the lotion even on their upper body, so on their arms, chest, and so forth. So it's all about your comfort and what you want to do. The great thing about this product is that it doesn't have that chemical smell that you're used to with a lot of self-tanners, and it gives you that nice golden brown tan that you would get if you went and got a professional spray tan. So it's not like those, I don't know, I've used over-the-counter self-tanners at home, and they always A, smell like chemicals, and B, I end up looking like an Oompa Loompa. So I can definitely tell you that you won't end up looking like an Oompa Loompa, and that's not the goal, to look like that. You will just look like you've been out in the sun, except you are not at risk of any of those harmful rays from the sun, skin cancer, getting, you know, wrinkle, leather skin, all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely a great product. Like all the Younique products, it's naturally based, so it actually is fairly good for your skin in the sense that it moisturizes and nourishes your skin while you're using it. So basically, to prep your body, really important that you exfoliate. So you want to have fresh, clean skin, and you want to make sure that any dry or rough areas have been exfoliated well. So on my face, I normally just use my normal face cleanser, and then I go over in circular motions with a rough face cloth just to kind of exfoliate that. On my body, I personally use just a loofah, and I avoid using my moisturizing type like soaps. The reason for that is because you also don't want to leave a greasy or oily film on your skin. So if you do want to use an exfoliant, like some of the sugars and so forth that you can use on your skin, you want to make sure that you get all of that off. I would actually avoid using anything that has any oil that will be residual on your skin. That can lead to streaking and the tan not adhering very well. The other big thing is if you're doing your legs, you want to make sure you shave 24 hours prior. The reason for that is because shaving actually opens up your pores, and a lot of people do get a little bit of irritation from shaving. So if you apply the tanning lotion right to that freshly shaved skin, you'll probably get, again, not an even looking tan, and it will actually be absorbed more into those pores, so you can get actually a spotty looking tan. So I always shave the day before. And the other big thing is I never do this tan if, say, you know, it's Friday and Saturday I'm going to an event. I normally do mine about 48 hours prior to, you know, an event. So if, say, I'm wearing a dress or shorts or something like that, just because if anything is uneven, I have a little bit of time to fix it prior to the event. The other thing is that, as you can tell, there's just one color. This only comes in one shade, so it's not like makeup where you have different skin tones. This is a buildable tan, so you can add more and more applications, and the darker your skin will go. I suggest for newbies that you start with one application, wait 24 hours and see what your intensity of tan is, and if you still want to go darker, then apply after that. You will notice within 1 or 2 hours that you do have a little bit of a tan already starting, but for full development of the tan, you do have to wait up to 24 hours. So that's kind of my little tip that I've used. But you can always do what's best for you. All right, so we're ready to do the face. So again, there's tons of different tips and tricks that people use. What I find is easiest, so I'm gonna use the spray. So my face has been washed, it's dry, exfoliated, all of that kind of stuff. So what I'm actually gonna do is I like spraying it into my hand. I don't like spraying it directly on my face. If you are going to spray it directly on the surface, you wanna hold it about, 10 inches out from your face and spritz and then rub it in. But for my face, I always like putting it on my hand. So I'm gonna just put a bunch of little squirts. You'll actually see there's like a brown fluid in my hand. I rub my hands together. Just rub it all in. Make sure to get underneath your chin. You don't wanna have a weird tan line. So it dries pretty quick. And then the big thing is, so you don't really see much on my hands right now, but you do want to make sure that you do wash it as you go along so that you don't end up having orange hands. So then so for the rest of my upper body, I just like spraying the area and then rubbing it in. You want to try and rub it in circular motion. So we'll start with the chest. So you can see the little spritz. Just gently rub it in. And so it's quite easy to apply. Again, if I can do it, pretty much anyone can. And then so for my arm, again, you want to do it in small areas. You don't want to apply like all over your arms, all over your chest, and then try to rub it in, because it does absorb pretty quickly. So again, rubbing in small circular motions. And then make sure to get your elbow. You always want to do a little bit of excess, like you don't want to spray directly on your elbow. The reason for that is because it's a more coarse area, tends to be a little bit drier, so it will take the tan a little bit better. So make sure you get the insides of your arm. Same thing goes for kind of your armpit area. Tends to be an area where you have friction. So again, it's going to be an area that takes up the tan. So that's basically how you apply it to your upper body. So I'm going to go ahead and do my other arm, and then I'll come back and we'll do our legs. All right, now on to our legs. So like I said in the first part is I like to use the lotion. That's just a personal preference. Again, you can use the lotion on your upper body as well. Again, you can use your hands to rub in. There are a number of other tools you can use. Some people even wear gloves. If you're really, really, really worried about getting orange palms, which I can tell you I've done this for probably the past month, and I've never shown up with orange hands to work. So you can put gloves on if you'd like. The other thing is, if you want, Younique actually does have an applicator sponge. This makes application a little bit easier, and then you don't have to worry about it getting on your hands. I love, love, love this for my feet. I don't know why I can't apply it myself with my hands, but it's the one area I tend to get a little bit of blotchiness or streaking when I rub it in with my hands. So this tool really comes in handy. It's like one of those blending buds you can use for concealer. And basically what you do is you wet this and then you apply a little bit of the tanner to the actual sponge, and then rub it in circular motions. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get everything set up and I'll show you how I apply it to my legs. All right, so we're going to apply this to the lower leg. So you don't need very much. I'm literally putting on, I guess maybe just over a pea size on my hand. And again, I'm gonna start with one section at a time. So I'm gonna do my lower leg here, okay? So you're gonna, again, rub it in circular motions. Making sure you get it all rubbed in and go right down to the back of your legs. Now you don't want to rub it too much. If you excessively rub it, then you're gonna get what's called pilling. If that happens, not the worst case scenario, what you're going to do is just take a dry cloth and you will just wipe off that pilling. But you can get a little bit of streaking or uneven tan when you do that. So what you can see is, so again, I'm rubbing in, making sure that the tan is evenly dispersed, taking the little bit of excess that was from my upper leg application and rubbing it onto my knees. All right, back onto the foot. So I'm going to use my little blending bud here. And so I actually use the short, or the smaller end. I'm gonna put a really small amount there. And then again, just like the legs, we're gonna use in circular motions. So you just wanna make sure you kind of get all over the foot, all down the side, same areas as you would naturally tan. All right, well, that's pretty much it. Both my legs are done, both my arms, my upper chest area and face. You can actually kind of see, I obviously have no foundation or anything on right now, and the tan is already setting in. So one last thing to remember is you want to wear loose clothing, or as some people will suggest, maybe walking around in your bra and underwear. But loose clothing is fine for the next hour to make sure that it doesn't rub off on any of your clothing, and again, you don't get any smudging or any sort of defect to the tan. And then after that, you can put your clothes on. It does not wear off in the sense of like brushing off on your clothing like makeup. So it lasts for anywhere from 5 to 7 to 10 days. It depends on how often you're shaving, how often you're exfoliating, things like that. I also find the more I moisturize, so moisturizing daily also helps kind of maintain the tan. So I hope you guys learned a little bit today, and if you have any questions, feel free to message me. Talk to you soon. Bye.